A little while ago, I did a video about health anxiety and the COVID-19 virus. I thought I would do a little update video about how I've noticed that my anxiety has shifted and how mindfulness is helping me now. Hi, welcome to Gently Being. The weather is getting nicer, and most people are celebrating by going outdoors a lot more. I myself, I'm not overly excited about all this nice weather that we're having here in Ontario. And this is because I can't help but bring my attention to groups of tweens and teens who seem to be getting together in groups larger than 5. And I'm pretty sure they don't all live in the same household. Whenever I see this, I can't help but have this red flashing sign in my head go off. Social distancing, social distancing. And I've kind of noticed that I may be getting a little obsessed with noticing it. Part of this may have to do with the apartment I live on tends to be on a bit of a busy corner in the community I'm in. And every time I hear a guffaw or loud music sort of being played from a cell phone, I can't help but look out the window and then count how many people are together. And this really just has a lot to do with my anxiety over how it seems with the nicer weather, it's easy to loosen some of the rules we have in place to keep everyone safe. So how I've been trying to deal with this, and I'm not perfect and it's something I'm still working with every day, is when I catch myself bringing my attention to, groups of people getting together, I then shift my awareness back to myself and take a breath. And then I need to remind myself that I can't control all the situations that are going on around me. But what I can do is try to the very best of my ability to follow the guidelines that my country and my province have set out for me during this time of COVID-19. Now, I'm not saying that this works every time and I don't still have the social distancing sign flaring up in my head when I see some groups of people, but it's slowly helping me bring my awareness back to myself and what I can do during this time. I just want to state really clearly too that I don't think it's just one age group that's sort of loosening some of the restrictions that we have. I think it's happening, across the board. I'm just sharing my experience of what I have seen from the community in the corner that I live on, but I really don't think it's just one group or age group that should be stigmatized. I think with the nice weather and being cooped up inside, we all can't help but want to get out more and see people. But nice weather just doesn't mean that the virus has gone away. So we still need to be careful, and I need to be careful of not allowing myself to focus on other people a lot and just bring my awareness back to myself and to the things I can do to help with the situation of COVID-19. My next struggle is my biggest struggle at the moment. Like most people, I really enjoy finding one period each day that I spend outdoors. And lately, with the nicer weather again, I've been finding it hard to find the time to go out where there's less people. Because once again, you probably can guess, I'm a pretty big fan of the social distancing. So when you're out walking on a sidewalk or on a path, you want to make sure that you still move and give everyone space so they can have their safety bubble and keeping that social distancing. But the more crowded that the sidewalks get and our paths get, it can become more difficult to maintain that social distancing, which I can find sometimes makes me a little bit nervous. And I've even noticed sometimes you may have people in really small groups, 2 or 3, but they don't necessarily make the concession of getting in a straight line behind each other when you pass so that everyone has room on the path or the sidewalk that you're on. But even that I've been okay with. My biggest issue is all about what we call joggers and runners. Whenever I see a runner or a group of runners coming towards me, it feels like a very fast-moving zombie apocalypse. And don't even get me started on when a runner comes up from behind you without you being aware of it and really closely passes you and just kind of leaps in front of you and barely is giving any recognition to the fact that we need social distancing and even a little extra when it comes to someone who's exerting as much effort as a jogger or a runner. See, what I see when I see a runner go by is just the COVID-19 virus flying off them, shedding off them all over the place as they sweat, as they breathe heavy. And my reaction tends to go like this. First, I'm shocked. Then, I'm a little terrified. And lastly, I move into a judgmental anger. I realize that this is maybe a little over the top reaction to it all. And I'll continue to walk, and as I walk and breathe, I'll get a little more peaceful and release some of that judgmental anger that I am feeling. But as you can probably guess, because I'm making this video, it's something that I'm sort of dealing with each day, especially now that there seems to be more and more runners and joggers out. And while I do realize that this is something that probably happens in a variety of modes of transportation while we're outdoors, it's just from my personal experience right now that it seems to be happening a lot from runners and joggers. But as I walk, and what I'm really trying to work on is recognizing that I really truly do believe that everyone is trying their best. And that sometimes when we cross paths, we just, we don't always do it perfectly. And I'm trying to be a little more proactive and, just moving out of the way more when I notice runners and joggers coming when it's possible. But I do have to admit it's something that I'm working with when my anxiety and health anxiety starts to kick in that situation. And I am just really looking more for a time that has less people when I go to walk, which right now is just sort of trying it at earlier and earlier times in the morning, because I do think that we can all work together, and some people are just really needing that release of, a lot of cardio activity outdoors or whatever you need, and that we really do have to try to respect each other and work together. I hope that this video has been a little bit useful for you, and maybe even just you could relate to some of the health anxiety struggles that you may be having. Please feel free to share any sort of tips or struggles that you're having in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing down below. And remember to hit the bell notification so that you know every time there's a new video. Thanks so much for spending time with Gently Being.